For a long time.
It's alright because the flyer explains your question. You can see there 4, 5 and 6 are closer. Did they suffer
There's the South Tower, there's the North Tower. The damage that these two buildings would have done to these buildings, the only thing that could have happened to these buildings would have been to collapse. With the debris and the damage.
Yeah, they did.
Did they collapse?
That one collapsed, didn't it?
6, 5 and 4, did they collapse?
I don't know, you tell me.
They didn't.
You tell me, you come here, you know.
Let's stop
Let's go on the net and check pictures. You've just taken points, you know, from the whole story, trying to...
What was the question? Let's take, for example, what shape were the rest of the buildings? They were a lot lower and a lot longer.
These are not as big as this building, are they? They're not as tall as that building.
9 stories.
That's 8 stories. Jesus, these buildings are not going to collapse.
So you drink unfiltered water, don't you, sir?
I sure do.
47 stories. 47 stories. Yeah, of course that one's going to collapse.
That's because
they're doing it on purpose, man. They want you dead. They want you dead. And you don't choose as to whether that fluoride in your water, but you don't care, do you?
No, I don't care. Because I know that I have taken a hedonistic lifestyle and I have overeaten, and I will readily admit that to anyone. That is the cause of my being overweight.
Yeah, well, I can assure you that the cause of these events is from people like you, not questioning what's going on.
I did question. That is why I'm here today, because I am questioning.
Well, it's very interesting. What are you planning to do with this interview? What are you planning to do with it?
It's posted on, well, we're going to post part of it on YouTube.
Come down here on Saturday afternoon just to take interviews for fun. Why wouldn't you come just to chat to us? Why are you putting the camera? No. Why put the camera in front of the face as well? Then if you
so we can show our friends.
If you don't want to be part of the interview, then you can tell us.
That's just for ourselves.
I'm wondering what you're into.
All right, man. I believe you totally.
Well,
But can't you see that these buildings are only 8 stories, 9 stories, 9 stories tall? You know, these are not going to be damaged the same way as this. This one's going to be damaged by the debris.
It would be damaged more, wouldn't it?
Which these ones?
What logic?
What time did What time did World Trade Center 1 and 2 go down?
Look, I can't answer.
About 9 or 10 in the morning.
Alright, what time did TC7 go down?
About 5 o'clock in the afternoon after it's been burning all day.
It's been burning all day.
The whole building was burning all day, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's going to collapse in the end, isn't it? It's going to collapse.
I mean, that's the thing. Have you guys seen that Beijing tower that was about 40 odd stories high this year? Had a crane on top, and that burned for 2 days and did not collapse.
Same sort of design, was it?
Steel frame building. Didn't go down.
You have a cantilever over
that's the biggest thing about Building 7. So Building 7 is a reinforced building, admitted to by the lease owner, the point we've got here. Larry Silverstein, we built enough redundancy to allow entire portions of the floors to be removed without affecting building structural integrity on the assumption that someone might need double height floors.
Well,
so why wouldn't that
what's that got to do with the fact that it was on fire for like 8 hours? You know, and was one of the largest office fires in the history of the world.
I'm not saying that it might not have collapsed somewhat, but we are talking full collapse, full pulverisation at free full speed.
Well, it wasn't actually.
I'll tell you something, right?
Internally before the
outside.
A lot of the collapse is happening internally. How does that occur?
Well,
because the outside frame has enough integrity to hold up a little bit, and so when the inside collapse starts happening, the outside doesn't instantly happen. Like there was the penthouse, which happened when the internal collapses started happening, and then there was slowly, sorry, it wasn't slowly, but it was failing on the inside, and then once it failed to a certain point, that absolutely nothing could hold it up. The entire rest of the cage came down.
But that's fantastic, because if your theory is correct, from this point on, all the companies that do the implosions are unnecessary. And all we have to do is use a cigarette lighter to create a fire in a building, and it will automatically implode.
Are you saying that kind of fire was equivalent to something that would start with a cigarette lighter? Big chunks torn out of the building?
Well, fire's a fire. It doesn't matter how it starts.
Fire started simultaneously across several floors. It's the same thing as a little paper fire in a waste basket.
It's irrelevant how the fire started. It's the fact that
the fact that it starts over a wide area all at once is pretty relevant.
Over which building are you talking about, though?
Well, all of them, basically.
And if you look at 7, the lecture today was on building 7.
Because World Trading Center 1 and 2 were hit by planes. World Trading 7 wasn't.
It was hit by a lot of massive debris, though. You can see that happening. There's pictures of
Let's
it.
go on the net and check the facts. Check pictures.
That's not next door. That's it doesn't matter. It could have been 500 kilometres away.
This whole place just got decimated. By huge buildings. Have you seen how
I'm going to ask you something. Are you trying to convince us, or are you trying to convince yourself? Can you answer that question, please? Are you trying to convince me, or are you trying to convince yourself?
It's not an issue. It's not an issue of trying to convince people. We've come here to figure out why you guys actually believe in something.
Because all the
evidence
pointed.
This was set up by some French guy who has made millions out of people who are gullible enough to believe in absolute bullshit.
Was set up by who?
Bullshit. You're going to go through life believing in bullshit.
No, I can't.
Look at this money they're making out of people. Oh, money they're making out
Probably trying to lay it.
$120. I might be for that.
Anybody got one of those armflies, please? Don't run out. That was good.
No, I haven't actually. I was invited in by one of the organisers. Yeah, really.
I go and talk to
Something like that.
We're just trying to keep everyone. It could be a couple
Maybe tomorrow. Maybe,
We're going to be stuck in here now, aren't we? How many people would you say is here, Connie?
Oh, look, I probably would say 300.
I reckon maybe about 150, 160, I think. Well, I'm assuming if they said they sold 160 tickets, they've probably got that many people here.
Where'd you go?
So what happened, Paddy?
What happened? Well, we weren't allowed to stay in there because we didn't pay $60, which, you know, I thought if they really want to convince people that they would let us stay in there anyway. So yeah, and he tried to sell us a DVD so they can make more money out of gullible people. You know?
You're better at approaching me because you're a girl.
Yeah.
You know what?
What's his name?
I don't know, just asking.
All right. Yep.